Thank you very much for coming here, everybody. Our CS, the Editors Guild fraternity, my colleagues in the development and expansion and development and implementation of education. I greet you all this morning. I would like to start by thanking Dr. Njengere for the philosophy. I will not go there, and I know I usually have been telling everyone who cares to address that issue, that unless a philosophy is translated to the practical aspect, it becomes completely meaningless. So we cannot live there with second order questions while the practical first order questions are with us. They have to connect. And just to request everybody to even look back to our traditional history of education, the traditional education in Africa and other traditional societies, and look at what was the underlying philosophy. They all had underlying philosophies, even if they were not written. If you care to find, you will find that. And that's why there was even formal education for training warriors, formal education for training medicine people. There were reasons, there were philosophies underlying, and also the philosophy of participation, observation, and imitation. And that is what we are saying, that children will learn practically when they see what their teachers are doing with them, what their parents are doing with them, what the community is doing, including even aspects of values. It is through observation, participation, and imitation of the good that can sustain a society. Also, allow me to comment on the issue of training of teachers. It has been mentioned here. Many of us who have gone through that process of being trained as teachers, we know exactly what the PS of Basic has said. And to hear a call for fresh training of teachers, take them to college again. It takes 4 years to train a teacher, and it's a teacher who is speaking. It really is very worrying. And I always like to use an example of my training as a driver, in being instructed how to drive in this city. When there were not many cars, I would come on Sunday to practice my driving. The vehicle that I was trained to drive in the 80s, I even don't see it on the road these days. But I can assure you, and you will bear me witness, the car you are trained to drive in maybe is not the one you are driving in today. I have driven so many in between, different left-hand drives, manual. Now I'm driving an automatic, and I thought I do not even want to see automatic. I did not have to go back to training school. It's practical. It's a practical skill, and we are saying we want competencies in the learners, in our teachers, that all you need is to be put in a situation and you use that experience and knowledge to adjust to the new situation. So calling for teachers to go back in training, it means for all our practical purposes, we shall always be going back. Coronavirus comes, we take the virologists back to college, take them through 10 years training and so on. It doesn't make sense. But let me go back to the State Department, for which I was appointed to head. The State Department, the President in his wisdom looked at the recommendations of the task force that I chaired, 2019-2020,